In this video, I have this old table that my father-in-law gave me before he passed away, and I haven't done anything with it forever, so I'm going to change that up a little. And then I purchased this old window for $10, which is amazing, and it's in great shape, but just needs some tender loving care. So wait and see what I did with this. I'm so proud of it. I love it. Hope you liked my table, and now on to this gorgeous window. So the person I bought it from put these knobs on this side, I'm assuming to hang things from it, but I'm not going to use them, and I took them all off. I did have a bit of a problem to get those screws out. I think they used glue, but I ended up having to reverse it on this side of the screw with my drill so that it would come out. Then I just used some spackle to cover the holes and let it dry overnight so that I could sand it. Okay, I'm in my junk room because I am alone and I couldn't lift this window because of my hiatal hernia issue, and I was worried I was gonna hurt myself. So don't mind the junk behind, as you see, but I'm masking off windows. And I'm going to mask the rest off, but I just wanted to show you that I'm going to be painting over the black with some white Rust-Oleum linen paint. So we're going to not have to sand anything down because we want, you know, that rustic look. And I didn't get perfect on the tape either because, you know, there's always paint on antique windows where people have painted over. So that's what I'm going to do, is just paint all of this white. Okay, it's all painted. Now I just have to distress. So I have this Chalk Couture transfer that I really like the saying, and I'm just measuring the top portion here of where I want to place it. And now I'm just going to grab some black chalk paint and just put dots on the corners of to mark it as to that's where I'm going to put it to make sure it's straight. So now I'm taking this Chalk Couture transfer and just peeling it off. I'm fast forwarded this, but I did it kind of slow. You don't want to stretch it. And I did more than my normal 5 times of fuzzing because it was sticking to the glass really a lot. So I did like 7 times, 7 or 8. And I just measured before, and I'm setting them where those marks are. And I'm just making sure that it's smooth so when the chalk goes on, nothing gets underneath and smears. So I'm taking the black Chalk Couture paste and just going over the whole entire wording. You'll see afterwards how pretty it comes out. It just stands out really well. I love it. So once you have it all covered and everything looks good, you just want to slowly go back and forth peeling that off on the glass because it sticks, like I said, pretty well, and just reveal how it looks. And it turned out so pretty. I just love it. So I know it's been a while since a viewer told me I should start doing some IOD stamps, and I bought this a while ago, and I'm sorry I haven't gotten to them until now, but this wreath one is so beautiful. I just loved it and saw it right off on the website and picked it up. But there's different kinds, and there's one that is just perfect round for this. It took me a minute to get the right angle. I'm using Waverly moss for the wreath, and just making sure it's clean here. And the good thing about chalk paint, it's kind of like acrylic paint with glass. You can wash it off easily. So you just have to be careful not to get it onto the white paint when you wash it off on the sides, but it comes off fairly easy. So here I'm just measuring the length of the window so that I can make sure that the end of the piece that I'm using is the center, so that I can start the center that way. But like I said, it did take me a minute. You might just have to play with it and wash it off and put it on, wash it off. But it took me 2 times, so I think I did pretty good. So here I'm just marking where the center is. So now I've just brushed on some of that moss chalk paint onto the stencil, or not stencil, stamp. And I did it lightly, not caked it on. Just make sure that it's covering all of the areas that you need to have it show up onto your window. And when you put it down, you want to start in the center. Don't push too hard because it squishes and it spreads out. And I think that's what messed up my first time. And you just want to look at it, make sure that it's showing all of the areas you want, and just gradually gently press as you go, because like I said, with the window it will smear and slide, and it's not like putting it on wood or something. It doesn't have a grip, so you just have to be really careful. But I do love how it turned out. So I just repeated the same steps all the way around to create the wreath, and I'll let you watch. And I noticed there was a few areas that were lighter than the others, so I kind of carefully redid them to give it more dimension. And then I just cleaned up with the little rag everywhere that was kind of sticking out of the areas I didn't want on there from the stamp. Now I'm just creating a simple bow, just folding it a few times to create a bow and then cutting another piece off to wrap around the center to tie it. Simple, easy. And then cutting the longer ends on the back of where I tied it and just hot gluing it so it can be removed easily. So here I'm showing you that I've got some dried flowers that I thought would look pretty on the top of those 4 windows. My husband gave me these flowers, I think on my birthday this year, and I ended up drying them, and this is the perfect project for it. So what I've done is, I didn't show it, I don't know why, but I do have some thumbtacks that are kind of like upholstery tacks that I stuck in the wood on the top of each of those windows. And then what I did was tied the same color of the black and white checkered ribbon around the dried flower to make it look like it was tied on with that, and then just used some twine to glue it to the back of the ribbon and hung each of those down on there. And I think it turned out great. Well, I love how it turned out for my home. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please let me know down below in the comments what you think. And I hope that I inspire you for your own projects and maybe give you an idea for your own home. Please like, share, and comment on my video. That helps my channel out a lot, as well as subscribe to my channel. And if you could do me a favor, please click the link down below and watch all of my videos that are on a playlist. That would help me so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and have a great day.